So, you just got a new M3 iPad Air, and which accessories are actually worth getting? Well, in today's video, we're going over just that. The affiliate links for everything will be in the description, so let's get right into the list. First, let's talk about what's probably a must-have if you're planning on taking notes or drawing. A stylus, namely the Apple Pencil Pro. Now, it is pretty expensive, but from my experience, Apple Pencils are definitely worth it if you use them right. That would include school and work, but also other things such as drawing or art. The Apple Pencil is the best stylus for the iPad, with it being super smooth, super responsive, and it also pairs instantly with your device. Because it's built by Apple, it's made for that Apple or iPad ecosystem. But with that being said, you could also opt for a third-party stylus to save some cash. There are good options in that regard too. I've seen a lot of folks in my university use the Logitech Crayon, for instance, and that also is surprisingly good. So pick whichever fits your needs and your budget best. And make sure that you also get yourself some spare tips. They will wear down over time, especially with our next recommendation, screen protectors. Now, this is something I would recommend you purchase along with your Apple Pencil. There are two different types of iPad screen protectors, the granular, paper-feeling one, or the glossy, just for protection screen protector. The first screen protector, the textured one, allows your screen to kind of feel like paper, making that transition from physical to digital note-taking a bit easier for some folks. You've probably heard of Paperlike, which is a company that specializes in making screen protectors that sort of feel like paper, less like glass. But for me, I've never had an issue writing directly on the glass of my iPad, so I don't use the textured screen protector. Rather, I use the other option, the glossy one. Glossy, tempered glass screen protectors are there just to protect your display from any bumps or cracks, so don't expect a much better writing experience. But they do their job, and there's some really good ones. Next up, let's talk about cases for your iPad. There are a lot of different types for the iPad Air, so it kind of just depends on what you're planning to do with your device. If you want to basically turn your iPad into essentially a mini laptop, there is the Magic Keyboard, which is a case and a keyboard built into one, so it's a good combination for some folks. It's made by Apple, so it pairs nicely with the iPad, though it is a bit expensive. There are some alternatives on your screen right now which can achieve the same results as the Magic Keyboard. Now, for me personally, with my iPad, I never really use my tablet like a laptop. It's just not necessary for me. So I just went with a folio case. It protects my tablet when I'm on the go and allows me to prop it up in a couple of different angles for a more comfortable writing position for note-taking and journaling. This option generally is much cheaper, so take note of that if your budget is tight. But if you don't need a keyboard or a folio for your iPad, you can also just opt for a simple case. Something basic that'll protect the back and the sides of your iPad without adding a lot of bulk weight. Now, on top of keeping your iPad safe, I'd also recommend picking up a silicone sleeve for your Apple Pencil. The Apple Pencil is pretty slippery when you're using it without the cover. When I first got mine, I was genuinely nervous I was going to drop it all of the time. And I've seen so many people drop theirs, it's not even funny. I didn't drop mine, thankfully, but I still got a sleeve a couple of weeks after I started college, and it just made a huge difference in more ways than one. It gives you a better grip and a little extra protection if you accidentally knock it off the desk or something. More peace of mind. They're cheap, easy to put on, and I definitely think they're worth getting if you're going to be using your pencil a lot, which I do on a daily basis. Now, this next recommendation honestly is something that I think a lot more people should buy, but barely anyone talks about, and that's a case sleeve for your iPad and pencil. If you're planning to travel with your iPad, especially if you're walking around your college campus or commuting to work, I really recommend getting one of these. You just slide your case-covered iPad into the water-resistant sleeve, and it gives you another layer of protection in case you get caught in inclement weather like rain or snow. You get that peace of mind knowing that your expensive tablet is safe even with the bad weather. I can't even tell you how many times this saved my iPad when I was at college, walking in ridiculous, crazy, rainy storms. Best part is that these case sleeves are not expensive either, hence why I always recommend them. And here's my pro tip: if the rain is really pouring, you can even put your case sleeve in a couple of grocery bags to make sure it doesn't get wet. It's not the most high-tech strategy, but it's a strategy that works nonetheless. And the last accessory recommendation I have is something small but super portable and useful, and that's a good microfiber cloth. The iPad is basically all screen, and it gets dirty so fast if you don't clean it. Fingerprints, dust, everything. It all shows. Having a microfiber cloth on hand just makes it so much easier to keep the tablet nice and clean. I use one for my glasses, my laptop, my phone, and of course, my iPad. They're super cheap and they last a long time. If you like having a clean screen, and honestly who doesn't, it's a nice little extra to keep in your bag. And those are all of the accessories I would recommend for your M3 iPad Air. These are the things I've used and trusted for years now, and they've made my iPad experience so much better. So let me know your thoughts and make sure to focus on your needs. My name is Seeroost. It's spelled like Cyrus, smells like sea rooster, just take out the ter. Thank you very much for watching and have a wonderful day. Peace.